Yo, what's up, guys? This is the L7C bringing you another Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel. Let's just hop right into the game, see what we're going up against. Still rocking the main deck. Go paper. We decide to go first. And the hand is not too pretty, I would say. We set the Imperm, we set that trap, we set Wabaku, and we end turn. At least we know at Wabaku that we're not getting OTK this turn. Hence why it's probably my favorite trap card ever. So we see Trickstar. We're like, okay. Trickstar label. We're like, alright, we're playing Trickstars. Trickstars do a lot of burn damage. A couple years ago, Trickstar is one of the top 4 decks in the game. So we're just going to see. And his effect is when he inflicts battle damage, he gets the target Trickstar in the graveyard added to your hand. So that effect isn't really in play right now because he has no Trickstars in his grave. So then we draw a Crackdown. We still don't want to discard. There's a trap we want to try out that's next to Apprentice, Illusion. So we set the Crackdown, end turn. So we have 4 back row. So they don't know what we're playing. And with Harpy's Feather Duster being legal right now, we're just like, oh boy. Then we see Trickstar Candina. We're like, yeah, we can't have that. Trickstar Candina is the starter of that deck. So we're going to imperm the Candina. And then we're waiting to see what is happening next. So they just go into battle. They attack. I'm like, yeah, we're going to do Crackdown on Candina. We're going to swoop it. It still gets to attack directly, but that doesn't matter because it doesn't get the effect of getting a card from the grave. So we take another 800. And we're still just thinking we're one Harpy's Feather Dust away being in a very bad spot. So then we draw Dark Magical Circle. We play Circle, waiting for a response. They're like, nope. I'm like, alright. We click no. Reveal a Dark Magician card. We get the Fateful Servant. And then we get Chocolate and Rainbow Karibo. Stack them up any ways that we can. And then we're checking. And then we are looking to see what we want to do here. We activate the Fateful Servant to see how we are going to do. Okay, still get to go through. That's cool. We're seeing what we want to put at the top. We put Magician's Soul at the top. Then we tribute Candina, Special Summon Apprentice. We're like, no, because we still want to get Magician's Soul next turn. And we're waiting for a response, and they have a Crackdown. So I was like, alright, I cracked down your monster, you're crackdowning mine. That is unfortunate. So then we set another card and turn. And yeah, we're trying this Tenny counter trap card, because when a spell or trap or monster effects activate while you control a face-up non-effect monster, negate the activation and destroy it. So obviously with my deck having Dark Magician and Blue Eyes, I'm like, let me try out this counter trap. This might be a new tech that I start using. Also, if the card's destroyed by a card effect while it's set, I can special summon a non-effect monster from the extra deck, and I have Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. So I was like, let me try it out. So I played the Ice Dragon trap card, which is becoming one of my favorite trap cards too, because I get to special summon the monster, then banish both of his Trickstars, which is super cool. So then we have the end phase, plays Pot of Desires. And we're like, no, still don't want to activate anything. The only thing we can activate is Wabaku. So we're cool on that. We're still waiting for the opponent. And then waiting. We are getting Magician Souls next turn. So we already have a play in mind. Obviously to get Dark Magician and to get our Apprentice back. But then sets to back row, so it's cause to pause. So then we have the Magician's Soul. We activate Magician's Soul. Send Dark Magician to the grave. Send souls to the grave. Oh, they were waiting to see if they have a response. We're like, no. We're like, okay. Special summon Dark Magician. That activates Dark Magical Circle. So we get to banish the Crackdown. And when Crackdown is banished, we get our monster back. But then they activate another Crackdown on my Dark Magician. And I'm like, oh, I get to try the trap. Boom. Trap, counter trap. So I was like, alright, in that situation, that trap card was really, really useful. And then we activate Faithful Servant in the Grave to draw a card. And then we're like, alright, we can draw the card. We draw Blue Eyes, so that's really not helping us anything right now. So then they do Trickstar Reincarnation, which banishes the Blue Eyes. But then they do Drill and Lockbird, so I'm like, is this combo going to work? Am I going to discard and then not get to draw? So I was very interested to see how this worked. And yeah, I didn't get to draw because of that combo. Very dangerous combo there with Trickstar Reincarnation and Drill and Lockbird. A lot of people should try and test that out. So I attack with 2,000 and 2,500 with DM, and then I end turn. And I still have the Wabaku in the back pocket, waiting to be sprung at any time. So they set, and then they end turn. Then we draw a Storming Mirror Force. We're like, alright. And then we go into battle. Go into battle right here. Attack with Apprentice. And it's another Drill and Lockbird. So then we're like, So then once you start setting your hand traps on the field, you're not really in the best spot, in my opinion, because hand traps are obviously to use from the hand. But if you have to set them to prevent your opponent from damaging your life points, you're in a pretty bad spot. So we draw Eternal Soul too, which is great. Then they do Effect Veiler. I'm like, no, I don't want to activate anything. And then I misplay. I accidentally repositioned my Apprentice. This would have been game if I did not, because it was an Effect Veiler. So I would have done enough damage. And that's what stinks about playing online. One misclick, and you're just like, darn it. So now we're waiting again. And we're really hoping that did not cost us the game. That since we want to activate anything, we're just like, no. And yeah, that was an Effect Veiler they set. So that's 2 hand traps in a row that they set face down. And I actually think we attack into a Ash Blossom, which it... And then they do Lost Wind, which are like, okay. Who is he trying to cut in half? You do Dark Magician. I'm like, well, he was special summoned. So we just do Eternal Soul so that I'm unaffected. So he wasted the Lost Wind. Set an Ash Blossom. That's 3 hand traps set in a row. And then with no monsters left,